So, I made a video where I kept a dream journal and played one session of LSD Dream Emulator each night. Well, in this video, I will do the same, but with Yume Nikki. So, here's how I handled this experiment. I ended up playing for roughly 1 hour every night before bed. Then I would go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and write down if I had any dreams. Now, for this, I'll be playing the Yume Nikki online project. I thought perhaps this would be a neat twist if I encounter other players and have unique interactions with them. Well, that's enough explaining it, let's get into it. I start up the game and it gives me a tutorial. I explored the apartment and head out onto the balcony, then quickly lay my head down and head off into the dream world. The TV is kinda spooky. I go through the door and into the realm of more doors. I entered the robot looking one because I thought it was cool and this sure is a place. I wander around a bit, seeing a ton of numbers. Then I found rows of beds. I tried clicking them, but alas, nothing. I even tried talking to this funny looking lady, but failed. Then I found this wall that was bleeding, so it's a good idea to touch it. I get teleported to a purple area with wardrobes. I tried talking to another lady, but she just sent me to hell. I am unable to move around, so I pinch my cheek and wake up. I still had some time before I would stop, so I went back in. This time, picking the funky looking door, which leads to a very funky little place. I try once again clicking on the, creatures this time, but alas, nothing. I explore a good bit, finding all sorts of weird creatures. Then I reached the land of the trippy pyramid. I clicked some cubes and I went back to hell, which I ended up getting lost for a while. I find another set of cubes and click them, but wait, what? I am back where I came from. I clicked them again and I realized hell looped for me. I ended up going to find another set of cube-like things. I click it and end up in a peaceful little area. Not the easiest to navigate. I found a creepy lady again. Worried she was gonna send me to hell, I tried to dodge her, but well, this is not hell, so that's something. This is an oddly peaceful place though. I pinch my cheek and return home and save the game for the night. I had a dream, but when I woke up, it escaped me. Oh well. I start off and play a game on the TV. Honestly, it was not great. I chose to enter this purple door and this place is sure interesting and colorful. I wondered a bit but found nothing, so I chose to head into another door, a candle world. I found this little dude running around, but he escaped me. Then I figured out how to catch him and that is sure something. It allows me to turn small. I go into a new area and it's kinda creepy. I even find some heads that are bleeding. I wondered and yet I found nothing. So I woke up. I go into a new door and this is something. Not really sure what to say or even think about this world. I didn't find anything, so I entered through a new door. Some weird art. At this point, I do wonder if all this means anything. I chose to go through one more door. I ended up in a snowy place. Somehow this was really calming to me. Sadly, again, I found nothing, so I head to bed myself. My dream was affected by the game. I was dreaming it was snowing and I had to shovel the driveway. I was unfazed by this in my dream, but I feel like this would be a nightmare if it was real. It was a calm dream and somehow a very quiet dream. I woke up thinking of just how quiet it was and how it was different from other dreams. I start my playthrough going through a new door and, spooky. I find pretty much nothing, however, into a new door, and it is, there are puddles. I also see that it is in fact called Puddle World. Not much here though. Can't really seem to find anything. I chose to go into a new door and it led to Block World. Finally, I chose to go into the last door. It takes me to this forest area, which has these weird creatures. Clicking them, I end up getting a JoJo stand of them. Not sure what it's for, but it gave me an achievement for the site. When I exit, I actually see other players. Though, I was super tired this night, so I opted to get some rest. This was an odd one. I dreamed my cat and dog were talking to me. However, they were speaking some other language. I ended up taking them to the vet, which the vet said I had to be put down soon. My pets were talking it over, but I had no clue what they were saying. Weird dream. I start off the night by seeing another player. I end up exploring the first world once more, finding a couple of interesting spots. I then entered this door which led me to the lamp area. I actually ended up finding a little lamp guy who gave me a new effect. I then go back to the doors where I see another player just zooming past me. I choose to follow. In the art-like world once more, I ended up finding this sewer. I went through it for a bit. I click on these holes that end up showing me some art. Well, this is something. I went in its mouth and I am well, at least I am not alone. I wondered a bit and then found this hat and scarf which teleports me? Confused, but I found this bed. I walk around some more and then find the hat and scarf sitting on the ground. I wonder if this means something. I found a door leading back to the doors and chose to call it a night here. Sadly, I didn't sleep too long. I did have a small dream though of me at a restaurant. I ordered a hamburger and that was it. A little unfulfilling of a dream. I start off and see a person right away on a bike. I like my hat and scarf though, totally not jealous. I chose a door and headed off to explore. I really feel like if I could zoom out, this would be a picture. Suddenly though, I found the bike myself. It's like this was fated or something. I then found a elevator. It led me to a place called the mall. I explore a bit on my bike, which makes this so much faster. I talked to this lady who changed my menu types. Kind of odd, but okay. I then found a flute, which at this point I now realize some of these have abilities. I can play music with the flute, I can duplicate myself with the small one, turn myself on and off with the lamp, ring the bell on the bike. All that is neat, but I begin to explore once more. I ended up finding this place. I clicked the guy and... uh-oh, I am sorry. I ran away and then found another sewer, but it led to a forest. I found a frog that lets me turn into a frog. I find this weird thing and it teleports me to somewhere. Now this place has teleport pads all around and well, I got heavily lost. I spent an hour wandering around. I was too tired to keep track, so I ended up going to bed. I dreamed I was with a childhood friend. We were in this park that gets swampy when it rains. We were walking and the daylight slowly began to fade away. It was a bit creepy and we were trying to get out of it. We were lost in this park, which would normally be impossible to get lost in. I ended up waking up before the dream truly ended. Odd dream. That is it for this video. I will only be doing 10 days of this experiment, so I chose to split it up into 5 nights per video. However, I plan to not stop with Yume Nikki. I plan to also try out the sequel and other fan games. The fan games might be something I only briefly touched though. So far, I feel like the game has not had a huge effect on my dreams like LSD Dream Emulator did. However, I am only halfway finished, so we shall see. This is the end of the video though, so take care and see you next time.